We know this is the first certified PMP of 2023. Faisal, Ajay, Akin, Gavin, Naseem Akhtar, Padma, Preeti, Hassan, Vikas, Atif, and Zia. Pallavi, Sajad, Zarnab, Azim, Azad, Mohit, Amoor, Tehsin, Abdul, Prashant, Ajay, Subhata, Grace, Ajay, Ali, Basharat, Zinumar, Mafi, Prashant, Asma, Akil, Bhai Dilyas, Fiaz, Garima, Ibrahim, Shakil, Shivani, Talha, Priya, Kitesh, Adnan, Akmal, Azan, Basil, Mangesh, Murli, Nagraj, Raj, Sachin, Sujit, Chetali, yes, Mohsin, Rizwan Ahmed, Abbas, Shakil Omar, Shafiq, Pari Parita, Francis, Kodan, Tushar, Rizwan, Wes, Abdul Aziz. Amer is my certified PMP number 200 and he is from Abu Dhabi. This one is very interesting. Irfan joined my batch program and he cleared. But the interesting part in this journey is that he booked the exam without telling me. Now, this is a very important thing because I evaluate each and every of my single student. And then I ask them, okay, now book your exam. Because I want to make sure 100% that you are 100% ready. Now, he came for holidays to Pakistan and he booked his exam. And I'm saying this on recorded video. I kind of destroyed his entire Eid. Because his exam was like the Eid ends in Pakistan on the day of Tuesday, and his exam was on Wednesday. Right, Irfan?
It was on Thursday.
It was on Thursday. So now he had to study, and I made sure through my follow-up he studied it. But the most important thing is here, he cleared with target. So Irfan, congratulations on clearing PMP with all above target. Why don't you share your journey in your own way, please?
Yeah, thank you first of all for that particular follow-up. It was very intense actually. Uh, but that was supposed to be that way, otherwise it was not possible. Yeah,
Yeah.
I joined the Amer's class in end of January, I believe. I was in contact with him, and by mid of February, I was in his class. So I took all those classes with a lot of zeal and zest. I was very much pumped up to clear it, and I needed the certification as well for my professional growth. But in between, I had some off and ons. I had some exams for which I have to appear other than this PMP. So I was a bit out of focus in between. So I came back here in Pakistan. I gave my those exams and then went back, and then there was some family issues. All this happening, but the thing is, I kept myself intact with the PMP course, the videos that Amir was sharing off and on, and the calls that he is giving for that we do for doing the questions, all that stuff. So I was in contact off and on, but there was no kind of a focus, a number of hours that I was able to spend because of workload and then some other issues going in parallel. But I discussed with Amir. I told him that I want to appear by the in somewhere in April. Uh, but the thing is, I had to take his permission before scheduling the exam, as he spoke. What happened is I was on the airport and a friend of mine, he came to me. He asked me that he wanted to do PMP. And I was referring him to Amit that he is giving very good classes and all that stuff. He asked me the fee structure actually. What is the structure for exam? And rather than just looking on Google and searching it online, okay, this is the cost, I logged in and I started scheduling it just to show him, okay, whenever it will ask me for the payment, I will show him, okay, this is the money that you have to spend on the exam, and then I will cancel it. But I forgot that my credit card details are already in the PMP portal. So when I clicked next, and it was scheduled. So I was worried a bit what is happening, how it got scheduled. I haven't made any kind of approvals for the payment and all that stuff. But anyway, it got approved, and then I informed Amer, and he was saying like, "How can you do that?" Uh, I told him that it's done. No, what else should I be doing? But then onwards, those 10, almost 10 days, I was here on 17th in Pakistan, and on 27th I had my exam. So there were 10 days and it was Eid time. So from the very first day I landed, he gave me, okay, do this, then you follow up, okay, what is your score, what is your percentage, all that stuff. But that really helped. Yes, I have to admit it, that yes, it was tough time. And I had to take that tough time to meet the requirements to be able to sit in the exam. And Amir made sure that I meet those all requirements, because he was asking, okay, how much percentage you have got. Whenever he was not feeling comfortable, he would do more, do more. Till the very last day, I was doing my mocks. So that's all about it, and I'm very happy that eventually all is well that ends well. They say it wisely so.
Now, it's a very interesting thing to say that we were looking at all the options that shall we reschedule the exam, and I told him we can only reschedule the exam 48 hours before, and even if we want to reschedule the exam, we have to pay them $75. So we were open to pay that as compared to getting failed in the exam, because money is one thing, but the mindset which get broken when you fail in the exam is kind of a very difficult thing. And plus, I love my 100% success record. That was also an important thing. So 2 days before he did my mock 4 on my simulator, he got 76% result. Now my mock 4, 5, 6, they are kind of the nerve test. The fun 2, 3 is built to make your stamina for 180 question. 4, 5, 6 is based on more exam pattern. When he got 76%, then he asked me, can now should I reschedule? I stopped replying him for that particular. I didn't do that mock because in my mind now it's I don't have to reschedule. We don't have to reschedule. He's going to clear the exam. So he did mocks. We went to that and we nailed it. Now another interesting thing happened. I don't allow my students like they have to travel more than 30 minutes to the exam center. They should get some room near the exam center because exam is already a lot of tension for 5 hours and things can go like it happened to Faryal, one of my student in Mauritius. She was in the center at question number 139. The Pearson view internet got problem and she had to reschedule her exam. So many things can happen. So I want to minimize the risk, or as we say, mitigate the risk. So what I always recommended go to the center. Now we never talked about that where he's giving exam. He's from Sargodha and the exam center was actually in Lahore. So he has to travel all the way to Lahore and then when he came there, he gave the exam there. That was an interesting fact, which was like, okay, now that's another thing to look into that to come from Sargodha to Lahore. Okay, in which center in Lahore you had exam?
I had it scheduled. Is just outside Barkat Market,
Okay, okay.
in Garden
Okay.
Town.
Let's come to the exam. How did you manage time?
Well, to be very honest, I had no issues with the time, because when I was doing the mocks, even of 180 questions or 60 questions, I was keeping, although you gave it me without clock, but I was keeping my timer on the laptop. So whenever I finished, I was finishing it on time. And same thing happened in exam. Uh, Only the first 10 questions, because your anxiety is just settling up. So first 10 questions, it took me, 5 questions took me 15 minutes. But after that, I was quite very okay, because when I took my first break, 162 minutes were remaining. And when I took my last break and came back, still 96 minutes were remaining, and there were 60 questions in. And when I finished the exam, still 15 minutes were remaining. Time
Okay.
management was okay for me.
That's a very beautiful thing to put into the context. The time management, which is considered as one of the most difficult thing, was not a problem for you. That's really a beautiful thing to understand. Okay. So which type of questions were more highlighted in the exam?
To be very elaborate, I believe it's all about agile mindset. It's all about agile kind of conflicts that happen, but again, within the context of agile, most of the time, communication again within the agile context. So everything was phrased something around agile.
Hmm.
But if we talk about particular area, it was communication. it was conflict. Agile for sure was there, and what else? A few things about people management.
Few things about people. Any formula question, any critical path question?
No critical path. One formula question from part analysis,
Okay, okay,
estimation. That one question was there, and two drag and drop questions were
okay, okay. What else? Anything else that you would like to add to people?
there.
Like,
Well,
okay,
I would just like to suggest them. I would just like to suggest them that do as many mocks as possible, because, as I was speaking with you earlier, that there were questions I tried myself for that. That even look without looking into the questions, I just look into the four options, and I knew what is the correct option. I didn't read the question, but it is all because of that kind of quizzes are designed by you. They are in a very orderly format, and very good format is that once you do all of those, most of the time, if even without reading questions, if you look into the options, you know from your mind that this is the right one. That's
that
it. But
that
again, for the sake of questions, we read it.
That's why I called it as a 10x
Yeah.
preparation. I make sure that your preparation is at a 10x level. No matter what comes in the exam, you can tackle it. You can handle it. You can get down to it. Acha, let's talk about this thing. Okay, Ali Raza is asking, what was the toughest among those three subjects? Like, what was the people process, business environment? Although you don't know which areas people process, it's not that the first section is people. No, no, no. The questions are coming in the mix, right? So, which was the most difficult one, and how lengthy were the questions? What would you say? Ali Raza is asking.
In terms of length, I don't think there were one, two, all the more.
I lost you. I am unable to hear you. Irfan sir, आवाज नहीं आ रही. I cannot hear you. No, I cannot hear you. Yeah, you
Yeah.
are.
So about the length of the question, length of the questions will never be an issue, I believe, because the questions that we already do with the mocks, they are enough in length, and they pretty much match what is coming in the exam. There was only one particular question I will talk about, is about the procurement. Uh, Not about procurement. It was about the costing side. They made it very lengthy. It was almost the entire screen was covered with that question.
Hmm.
Question inside was very small actually. The actual question was very short, but they made it look very, very big. Really, it took all the screen, the width and the length, everything was covered there. That was one particular question. Other than that, the length of the questions should not be an issue. And in terms of complexity of the questions, I don't see any complexity, but I will tell you only one thing, that we focus more on the agile communication and that part. But the very first part, we talk about the project charter, and at the very basic, just don't lose sight of it. There were around 10 questions from that side.
Okay.
So I would suggest that just don't lose sight of it. Go through it once before coming to the exam, so that if questions are coming from that age, very easy portion, you should not get stuck.
Hmm. Okay, yeah, that's everything is important when it comes to the context. Okay, then Ali
Yeah.
put the question, what question, like, let's compare the questions. Let's go for the mock 4 because I never asked you to did mock 5 and 6. Mock 5 and 6 are actually more tougher than mock 4. So let's compare mock 4 180 question with the real exam. How would you compare it, the difficulty level?
Uh, I actually, from 180 questions, I did only two mocks.
So one, I know that.
I
What about mock 4?
mock from 180 or 60 questions.
For 180, Irfan sir, from 180.
Yeah. The questions, I'm telling you, they are quite comparable. If you are able to do those 180 questions, I believe they are quite comparable. But for me, what worked best was those six mocks of 6 questions.
Hmm.
This is actually the crux. Whatever I have learned in those and I do the root cause analysis, what I was doing wrong. Because I started with 65%. I was getting 65% marks in my first two mocks. After that, it gradually increased to 70, 76, then 84 and 85. This increase only happened when I did the root cause, what I am doing wrong, how I am analyzing a situation, and how the answers are actually. Once I did that, I was able to do 85%. And
Hmm.
with that 85%, when I went into the exam, it was very easy.
Hmm. Hmm.
For me, those last six set of questions of 60 each, I believe it is the mindset
Hmm.
that will.
Hmm.
180 questions actually will only make, yes, they are in the context of what we receive in the exam. It's pretty much comparable, but at the same time, it makes you ready to attempt those 180 questions within the time frame. That is important.
Okay. Anything else? You already mentioned that you do that, but now Irfan, understand this thing. Each one, teach one is the name of the game. It's your responsibility that your best students are still there. Coach them, work with them, and let's make sure that each one, teach one, work into. Okay. Alireza, that is not the context of the question. It will help now. He just did PMP. Okay. G, anything else you would like to add, Irfan sir?
Yeah, this is what as Ali is asking. For me, it will help me uh, because I started with this particular thing in mind that yes, it is going to help me. I know the job market of Middle East. I am working there, so I'm not sure where Ali is residing, but Middle East and even Europe and Australia,
Is in
they
Abu Dhabi. Is in Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi. So it will help anyway. There is no question about that. He must have that. And on top of that, I would just say that just stick with the mantra of Amer. Whenever he is guiding you, he is telling you, he is pushing you. Just take that push and keep pushing yourself as well. I know what I did in last 7 days. My family was saying, "You are here for holidays or what?" I was sitting in my room and I was just studying. This focus is important. Before exam, you need to give 7 days, 8 days, 10 days, whatever you think. But keep in mind that before exam, you need to have this focus. It will not be like, okay, today I will day 1 hour, tomorrow I will see, third day again. No, you have to have a consistent focus at least 3, 4, 5 days. Just put your focus on this. Keeping your exam coming up in few days, you must focus. If there is no focus, it will be tough. I'm not saying you probably will do it, but it will be tough for you. Don't make it tough for yourself. Focus on last 4, 5 days and just follow what I'm saying.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you very much for your time and best of luck for future endeavors. Now come the very important thing. Each one teach one. Let's not stop it there. Vinod is the first certified PMP of 2023. Faisal, Ajay, Akin, Kevin, Naseem Akhtar, Padma, Preeti, Hassan, Vikas, Atif, and Zia. Pallavi, Sajad, Zarnab, Azim, Azad, Mohit, Amoor, Tehsin, Abdul, Prashant, Ajay, Subata, Gritis, Ajay, Ali, Basharat, Zinumar, Mafi, Prashant, Asma, Akil, Vahid Ilyas, Fiaz, Garima, Ibrahim, Shakil, Shivani, Talha, Priya, Venkatesh, Adnan, Akmal, Azan, Basil, Mangesh, Murli, Nagraj, Raj, Sachin, Sujit, Chetali, Yes, Mohsin, Rizwan Ahmed, Abbas, Shakil Umar, Shafiq, Sari Parita, Francis, Kodan, Tushar, Rizwan, Wes, Abdul Aziz. Amer is my certified PMP number 200 and he is from Abu Dhabi.